The major feeling that was there always fear. Throughout my journey, there's a fear of obviously the preparation and the results, but the larger fear was with my mother's treatment and the outcome of the treatments. And like, for example, Ranadhi sir would be able to know a lot of things because he knew my test scores. My therapist once told me that your feelings are not always facts. You might feel helpless, but you might not actually be helpless. There was no marketing sales call I had attended of Civilsdaily ki this is a program that I'm providing. I myself went on after researching ki I need to enroll in a mentorship program. Tell me what are the options available. So mentorship for me is like if you want to do only one thing with the UPSC journey, a mentorship program would be, I would say, the first thing. I used to talk to my mother as well. I used to say that the cancer is a terrible thing in our life, but it's a part of our lives. And the other parts of our lives has to go parallel with this. Everything good or bad happens to you is a part of it, your life, not your entire part of your life.
Okay, cool. Give me some sense of how do you see AI impacting UPSCs? If it is it there yet? What all will it need to reach a stage where it can help UPSC preparation journey, both academically and non-academically? Non-academically, I mean, understanding the user behavior, understanding the mindset, and giving the right nudges, etc., etc. Where are we tech-wise and maturity-wise on that?
I see that technology level pe, it's the LLMs and everything, the evolution is going extremely fast. But at the back of it, it has to be the data that we're training the model with. And the more organized the data is, the better the model would work the way you want it to be. But I think our data organization is with the UPSC material is not there yet. So for example, what I used to do is there's in LLM is something called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. So I could fine tune the Chat GPT or any GPT model with the content that I wish to. So for example, there's in art and culture, for example, means this is a very bigger notes that I cannot go through. I would train the GPT model with the content and then ask me only in 150 words, give me point wise about dances of India. And then it will give me the answers the way I want it to be. Or I'll ask me extract these piece of information or just point out 5 important data points about water crisis in India from the PDF that I'm providing with you. So at a personal level, I have tried this and have got an amazing result because it makes your preparation easier when you do not have a friend that who could do this for you. Or I have seen a lot of people divide works among them and do this stuff कि इस PDF से data points extract कर लेंगे, PDF से examples extract कर लेंगे. I used RAG models in GPT to do that for me, but we're not there yet. As in, I've seen a lot of startups and a lot of coachings coming up with this idea that will do instant answer evaluation and everything. But I think you'll get a generalized answer, you'll get something out of that, but it's still not there yet because your answer is so personalized. It has to have a lot of data, figures, and everything. And basically, you'll get the answer what you would have trained the model in. And the data is also not very updated. So we are still not yet there. I think we'll require some time to get that very qualitative data. But base level, pe to yes, you have. But you can use GPT, Gen AI, LLMs to ease your preparation. Which is I think I think a couple of models have come up which are very UPSC specific. I'm not sure, but I had seen somewhere in Reddit or somewhere. But a few of them have come up. I've not checked them especially, but I
think
time
hai. There's still time before they catch up with the real demand of the exam.
Yes, for mains answer evaluation feedback, I don't think we are there yet.
For prelims. For prelims?
No, prelims I think misleading hai, like extremely misleading because what I found out ki बहुत erroneous data hai. Even you ask Chat GPT, maybe also very simple Chat GPT, you'll get बहुत wrong answers because prelims you should not. I had found out कि बहुत ज़्यादा error answers आते हैं because a lot of content on internet is also false, inaccurate. So and prelims is either you're right or wrong. There's no gray thing here. So
correct. Have you used Perplexity also? It's just for the
No,
sake
I have
of
not. I have not.
Perplexity AI. They give at least resources where they are, getting the information. At least slight transparency there, and I could find out keyword resources are from those websites which I wouldn't trust otherwise. But
Correct.
they would have picked it up because of ranks and SEO and some other parameters, which is
Correct.
because of which they rank higher. So that's okay. So academically, I get it that we're not there yet, specifically the UPSC. Uh, Non-academic aspects, which kind of mentorship took care for you? उसमें कुछ हो सकता है क्या? Can a model understand your behavioral patterns vis-a-vis your study patterns and stuff? Is there any possibility we can train? It
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
like a
for
mentor.
sure. For sure, for sure. As in, because a lot of analytics could be done there, because there's no feedback loop, accurate feedback loop that you get. And also, like for example, Ranadhi sir would be able to know a lot of things because he knew my test scores and everything. But also, there are a lot of things that I would not have shared with him, not like knowingly, but unknowingly. So, like the amount of time I'm putting in, what kind of test series I'm doing, what I'm not doing. A lot of it you would know, but a lot of it might not have shared unconsciously. So I think a lot of mentorship may also there could be a lot of recommendation algorithms that would come up that what should be
Mm,
done, what should not be done. You are fairly stronger at this. So things like that can be done, but again, it would require a lot of data points. You will require
mm,
what you say the dependent variable like in any algorithm there would be a dependent and independent variable. You'll have a lot of independent data points key the hours you're putting, the test scores you're putting, the rank you're getting in a test and everything. But also you'll have to have a dependent variable which is the success, whether is the candidate is being successful with this strategy or not. So I think
mm,
it's too subjective to model this into
mm,
an algorithm yet.
mm,
But
mm.
yeah,
It's the
few analytics could be happening with mentorship programs as well.
Okay. Okay. So, and I'm asking these because practically this year we've decided to augment our mentorship program to the best level that we can, tech-wise, human-wise, all kind of intervention-wise. And therefore, some of the questions would come to you because you're the direct beneficiary of this program. Tell
Yeah,
me,
sure.
are there telltale signs which I can check about a candidate? Or what are those fundamental telltale signs which, if I know about a candidate aspirant when he comes, that I know that he has a higher probability of uh, success at this exam, which is so subjective, full of ups and downs, and the whole grind is taxing. क्या सवाल होने चाहिए जो या तो मैं डायरेक्टली पूछूं उससे या फिर आई इन्फर इन some way or the other, which tell you about yeah, he has a good shot.
For me, I think a clear vision comes first. It does should not be कि कितना महीने में कंप्लीट कर लूंगा और उसके बाद कब दूंगा. It should be कि कब मैं दे रहा हूँ उसके हिसाब से give me a plan. So
Okay.
somebody who asks the later question has a higher probability of being successful at this. And I think the second one, if he is not expecting you to spoon feed him,
Hmm.
then that's something. Ask him ki what kind of support he wants, and if he thinks that he would need to be spoon fed at every particular stage, then the probability declines.
Hmm.
And the third is how adamant or non-adamant is he to be flexible with his resources, because usually when we come with a mentorship program or things like that, we're most of the times aware that what kind of resources we'll be using. So if he is or she is flexible enough for various resources. And fourth being the number of tests that they're writing. It seems very trivial and technical, but then test and answer writing is extremely important. How many hours they're willing to put in to write answers. And the fifth, obviously, the one you should ask about what kind of support system you have. And I think that's the first day interaction that the mentor should be having, and ask them घर पे क्या चल रहा है. If do you have a sibling, do you have friends, do you have a partner, do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and how things around that, because those are a huge part of your life, and UPSC tends to consume you in an entire way and become your entire life during those preparation phase. But
Hmm.
other things would go parallelly and you cannot ignore them. You'll have breakups, you'll have newer crushes, and you'll have new job, not a new job, and everything. So I think academic नहीं, ये conversation, not loose talks obviously, but to know the person better, this has to be a day one conversation with a mentor and a mentee.
Okay, so great. So I'll take this as a segue to more serious and absorbing part of this conversation. You started in February, and you obviously was coming. Your mother's condition, I think, was made aware. You were aware of that, so you were in that state of mind for about almost the whole time. Uh, what were some of? So I get that mentor Randy sir helped a lot at one level indexing your the CAD preparation. Uh, you had a good support system at home. You were, like you said, friends with your mother who was there as well. What were some of the things which you remember? And I can go micro, which helped you get your things back together whenever you lost focus or whenever you felt helpless or down. And like, jitna tu micro kar sakta hai, utna kar. I don't even know exact question to ask. Whatever you feel comfortable with, wo bata. So that whoever listens to this chat, they should do few things. They should value the smallest things which is in their life, which has the potential to propel them when the time comes. Second, they should be able to equip them with some of these best practices like cookie jar concept of Ishani. Benjo used to write journal. I remember Bhaskar, who I told you his mother was an IAS officer, and he said, "I'm the most unlikeliest candidate to appear for UPSC." He used to talk to his software. ठीक है. One more ranker I spoke with yesterday was like मैं अपने को speech देता था आधे आधे घंटे की. Like I used to, so very small quirky stuff, but whatever ensemble of this you had, which helped you go away. तो लोगों को भी लगे कि यार इसमें कोई meaning है, शर्माओ मत, don't feel embarrassed, because I know people of my generation, and I'm like a generation of than you, we used to shun these things because we used to have a very stoic kind of thing, ये बकवास है, just get to study वगैरह वगैरह, and I know it creates a lot of dissonance in the head sooner than later. So तू बता कि what were some of the things that you value and things you became grateful for in your preparation, which helped you? You can go micro.
So I think a lot of them, I mean, every day it was taxing and every day used to, I think there was the major feeling that was there always fear. Throughout my journey, there's a fear of obviously the preparation and the results, but the larger fear was with my mother's treatment and the outcome of the treatments and obviously the number of time we have left, the amount of time we are left. But in those moments, I used to feel a lot overwhelmed and feel things that were not facts. Like my therapist once told me that your feelings are not always facts. You might feel helpless, but you might not actually be helpless. You might feel that your life has shattered, but it might not have actually had happened that. So back of my mind, I used to feel that I'm feeling that something would happen, but then I'll come back and say that that's not the fact. It's not there yet. So I'd say ki what philosophy I had in my mind, which sounds very cruel and selfish, but this is something that I used to talk to my mother as well. I used to say that the cancer is a terrible thing in our life, but it's a part of our lives, and the other parts of our lives has to go parallel with this. So we cannot just sit over and all our conversations, all our actions cannot revolve around cancer. But it did. Our timetable and everything, somewhere or the other, revolved around the treatment and the side effects and everything. But we tried to maintain the philosophy, I, my sister, and my mother, that we'll treat this as a cruel part of our life, but part of our lives. So if I'll have to go for a dance class, if I'll have to go to office, if I am planning to go on a trip with my friends, if my mother wants to do 10 different things as well, then we'll try to do that. Everything was not possible, but we'll treat that this is a part of our life. And I think the compartmentalization was very important. That I had dedicated 30 minutes of my time every day to overthink. Every time I used to
Sorry, you had
30
dedicated
minutes of my time to overthink.
to overthink. Okay.
So when I'm studying anything, and there are a lot of trigger points. Like for example, science and tech, mein itne baar I used to come across CAR T cell therapy, cancer, that used to trigger me like anything. कहीं पे कुछ भी news आ गया about cancer and that used to trigger me like anything. So I used to then tell me pause. अभी पढ़ लेते हैं ये syllabus point of view पे. I'll overthink about this at 10:30. So 10:30 to 11 would be my overthinking phase where I used to overthink everything. And उससे पहले I used to just tell me कि pause. I'll devote you the time कि सोच लेंगे इसके बारे में जितना नेगेटिव हो सकता है. We'll think about it, but in that stipulated amount of time. अभी नहीं. अभी पढ़ रहा है पढ़ ले. So I think I did that compartmentalization. I used to joke I'm leaving my life in slots. to an extent ki I'm also dealing with my feelings in slots. So that I did for most part. As I said, as you mentioned, I also had recorded a lot of videos myself in my lowest of the days where I used to like switch on the camera and just speak to myself and give myself motivation talks or just speak what I'm going through. And then probably after the next lowest phase of my life, lowest day of my life, I used to go back to that video and see what I was feeling then and what pep talk did I give. And that would help me to survive the next day. So I had also recorded a lot of my videos and I used to watch them across these 2 years. And I also did a lot of journaling. I wrote whatever used to come in my mind. Maybe there was an office, if something would be very overwhelming, I'll just write that down or just put that on my notes in my phone. I used to write down because I understood that it's very important to accept your thought processes and not run away from them and evade them. So I used to write down a lot of things what I am going through, and what else? I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of coping mechanisms. I used to randomly watch Big Bang Theory. That I used to just keep that open and do anything else. That noise was extremely important. That I did. Uh, I think I used to video call my friends every 3 days. Every 3 days, used to have the video calls at 12 in the night. Like on those days, we used to do it late at night because then it would not affect my studies. So very frequent video calls where we talk everything nonsense. So that I think also helped.
What do you mean when you say that one should be not ashamed of their own thought process and that journaling helps? Like what really unfolds when you write about how you feel in a particular situation, and you might not like that version of yourself, अच्छा मैं ऐसे सोचता हूँ and all that. What happens then when you reread it time and again?
So I think there's a lot of inner struggle also, like because I'm aspiring for something which I know at the end of the day my life will change. Like obviously, if my mother would have been here, her life would have changed as well. But at the end of the day, it's a village's success. But on a very micro level, it's my success. It's I that I'll become an IS officer, and a lot of people associated with are also equally happy. But then my aspiration was mine. So I used to have this struggle that I'm being selfish, that I'm studying and not caring for my mother in spite of the fact that I knew that there's nothing more that I could do for my mother, but always it felt inadequate. They're like, I'll go to 4 doctors after a new report comes, but then I used to feel sorry, why did not I go to the fifth doctor? Or why, if I'm Googling I'm like searching on internet for an hour today about cancer and other treatments and reading through research paper, why did not I put in another hour? And I'm using that for my preparation. So my inner thoughts would always be that this terminal cancer, you do not have time, but still you are being selfish. And then my therapist would advise me the same thing, that you have to treat this as a part of your life, because and it's important also you do that. And I think the circumstances make you that, but there used to be always an inner struggle, and I accepted that I'll have these thought processes. I'll have the thought processes on a very micro level that, for example, there's something happen in office which I would not like, but that also would couple up with, and that would also bother me for that day. And then I used to think, why is this bothering me when I have a bigger thing to bother about? But at the end of the day, then by writing, I would also accept that these parts of my life are also equally happening, as in something bad could happen in office and it could bother me, that could something with my friends could happen and I could that could bother me, that something would happen in my social personal life and that could bother me as well. And it was important to just not cloud your thoughts with the cancer treatment and accept that there would be multitudes of thoughts in varying capacities, and by writing them, and I was more clear that okay, I'm getting this thought now, and it's okay if I'm getting that. And if I was not writing it, it used to jumble up because uh, cancer was cruel. I mean, I used to tell everybody that anybody who gets cancer, people say that cancer warrior. I hate that phrase because anybody who goes through cancer, they have already won. Like it's cancer winners. Does not matter
Mm,
what's the outcome of it. Cancer
mm,
warrior is an extremely useless phrase to
right.
put it out there.
Okay, you mentioned that at the start of it, you told your mother ki we'll accept this thing as a fact of our life. You and you told your sister also, and it's a cruel fact, but we'll not let it be the be all end all of life. This, and then you said that I should live my life in parts, and then uh, ये सब क्या? Were you like were you like this from the kid? Yeah, suddenly you jolted to कि there is no, rationally speaking, there is no better way to handle this. This is the most optimized way to go through this. Did you jolt to that? या ये तू था ही पहले से ऐसा?
No, no. I think I was not. I was always a very sensitive, emotional kid. And I think I became very matured in these 2 years where well, I think the word you're trying is optimization. I was always looking at how will I optimize my day? I will optimize my month because because the reports would come every 2.5 months. So and then there's a new treatment that would go and everything. So I was to optimize to an extent ki अच्छा if I'll have 1 hour abhi to go to the hospital and ask abhi next 1 hour ke liye in the car that I'm sitting, I'll not think about it. I'll take the tension only 5 minutes I enter the hospital and usse week 1 hour pehle I'll read something. So I mean वो compartmentalization is essential कि the way I'm dealing with my feelings. So it's that, as in for example, I'm waiting for air, like I still remember I used to go from Delhi to Bhubaneswar, and obviously while returning from Bhubaneswar, like the 2 hours I'm spending in the airport, for the most part of it, I used to just cry in the washrooms and or call up a friend and cry. But then I understood कि कुछ भी करो, रोऊंगा तो मैं हूं ही, कभी ना कभी दिल कम टाइम, बट इस टाइम पे आई कुड रीड समथिंग, आई विल प्रोबब्ली डू समथिंग व्हिच इज वर्थwhile and not just cry. And I'll that as I said, there will be I devoted अच्छा ठीक है, कल I'll think about it, and whenever I'll think about it I'll cry. So why do I cry all the time? Because this was beyond my control. So the compartmentalization was very essential, and it grew on me over the time, and my therapist helped a lot while dealing with this. So yeah, I was not the same while I was growing up. It made me the person today because of the treatment and the adversities it brought.
Hmm. Uh, I think you very briefly mentioned that day and that night at the dinner table ki you didn't read obviously, but you used to in Delhi go to Aurobindo Ashram, I think, but for your own, because your mother was a devotee and your sister went to some school with the pedagogy. Uh, was going to Aurobindo Ashram, and you can choose to go in deep or otherwise on this. What was that like? What propelled you? Was it like a connect with mom? Mom ne bola ya tujhe laga ki let me just go and spend there. What did you feel? Anything about that episode of your life if you can share?
So my mother, as I said, was a huge devotee of this, and she would say ki whenever you're in doubt, just surrender yourself to Sri Ma. She is the spiritual partner of Sri Aurobindo. So Mira Alfasa.
Hmm.
So and then for me it started ki I need a bigger power to surrender myself. And
Hmm.
Sri Aurobindo, since I was aware about him, and my sister was in the same school affiliated to that. So and then I found out there's a Delhi branch. I started going there every alternate Saturdays. So and then also it became a thing that I'll have, whenever I go there I have to video call my mom, and she wanted to
अच्छा,
see the ashram and everything.
अच्छा.
So that became a routine that I'll go and then I'll do a video call and she would watch it. And I used to sit and meditate for some time, and the place is extremely beautiful. And yes, I mean, I have Savitri Abhi also at my place, but I've not gone through that. But I kind of, I might not be very well aware about Sri Aurobindo's philosophy apart from just the surface level, but I kind of felt that there's a bigger power that I can just surrender to during those times, and it's always driven by my mother.
Hmm. Okay,
We
one
went to
question that I
Pondicherry
want.
too. That desert,
Yeah,
I was
you.
talking Pondicherry too, and it was her biggest dream of a life that I could remember. So just Sunday the mains got over, and the Monday we had a flight at 7 or 8. And I think those 4 or 5 days we had spent there would always be the most beautiful memories that I had. I'll cherish with my mother.
Hmm. I didn't want to go into this again with you, but like it inevitably it's an organic part of your life, like you said. Uh, so okay, so you had this philosophy, ki, I'll take it like this, I'll compartmentalize my life, and this is the optimized way of going about it. And you were not this kid from before, so it would have shifted you to something. Did you feel your innocence wearing out? Did you feel slightly becoming more self-critical and like just disappointed with the scheme of things? Like, or did you, with these processes, became more and more aware and like how Aurobindo would say, or spiritual folks would say, कि slightly detached with life as it is. It happens. There is no control. मतलब क्या हुआ? Did your innocence is your innocence still intact? अभी भी है तू? Do you remember your old self?
I think a lot of innocence was gone, but I became very self-aware. Uh, the process makes you a lot self-aware. I would understand that if my mind is today healthy or not. So
अच्छा.
and I think I don't think I was like I was yet there to like detach myself and be in a stoic space, but that was a goal. I'll be an extent where I compartmentalize my feelings to a level that everybody would be in their silos and would not feel attached. But no, I think I was not there yet. But yes, innocence was gone. Extremely self-aware about my feelings and extremely logical. I started answering my questions to myself that uh, to talk about a lot of inner struggles, inner thoughts, and the conflicting idea between preparation versus taking care of your mother and things like that. So I started questioning myself and then try to get an answer of the why, and then ask based on that why's answer. I became extremely rational, I would say.
Okay, and when you go through this journey, like this self journey, जो तू कह रहा है, circle of people with which you will actually open up and share, you know, the struggles of this journey would also tend to be limited, right? So even though you had your sister, your friends, I don't know if were all of them going through a similar journey and you could keep connecting with them. Yeah, this kind of became a very lonely endeavor at some point of time. Because now you're becoming more rational. Also, you're aware of your feelings. You have to optimize something. It sounds to me, and that's my assumption, would have become a slightly more lonelier adventure. Was it, or were there people also, you know, evolving around with you?
It was mostly lonely, but I have this best friend, school days say, who would get the extreme unfiltered thoughts of mine. So
Acha.
I think he would have seen me grown and how self-aware I became. So it was not like I was trying like all the closer people, all the people I was close to, everybody I was not able to open up in a similar way. For most part, I did not inform my mother throughout that I was in therapy. I informed my
Acha,
sister
हाँ.
once or twice that I was in therapy, but also it felt that I just went there and it's fine after that. So I did not mention my sister as well. But this one particular friend, which I have been very close to since school days. So he would we would have texted literally every hour. So he would have like my journal would be also to text him, and since he's very non-judgmental and I found very easy to share things with him. So I think there's one person who would have seen me grown across these years.
That's nice. That's again, it doesn't happen with everyone. It's also a very rare privilege to have someone like that in life.
True, very, very true. I have come across a lot of people who feel that way, and yeah, I mean, I was fortunate to have a friend circle and have a best friend like that. But yeah, extremely beautiful people. I love them a lot. Like the entire bunch of school friends I have, 4 people. I love them a lot.
These are the same people जो बचपन से 12th तक रहे, मतलब same
Not
school, same
necessarily
stuff.
from LKG, but we're the same section, and I have a different story how we became close friends and how the group came into. I tell them that I am the social glue of the group, but not exactly my best friend from KG. But these are the people I had met in school. 9th, 10th may became close, 11th may become extremely close, and it continued after that. But yeah, from school times I knew them, and they had seen my home. They had seen my parents and the way I was a kid. Most of them hated me in school because I was the monitor, I was a head boy, and as this teacher's pet, as they tell me. So yeah, but
Yeah.
these are the people I was associated in school.
Nice. Okay, I forgot to ask this question. All this time, your mother, who was not aware that you were in therapy, but she was aware of this, what she was going through, and what it probably would do to you in this crucial stage of life. What were some of the things she kept telling you? Knowing her
What
kid,
was?
knowing that some of the things that she kept telling you, some of the motivation slash bites ki tu aise kar. I know that you used to share Samachar Manthan copy with her and
Yeah.
answers and all that.
I used to give her the answers. I used to write essays and also tell her कि आप मुझे review दो. And every time she would be like, very beautiful, Baba, extremely beautiful. And I'd say, I'm sure you would not have read through also properly. And she said, no, I read it properly, and I think it is 100 on 100. And and every time, I mean, for most, I had read about this one theory about grief and problem, that there's always a circle of people. Like, I knew that with this entire cancer thing, my mother is at the epicenter, my sister and I are at the next circle, and my friends are at an outer circle. So your direction of the travel of your frustration should be from inside to outside and not outside to inside. So my mother could share her frustration with my sister and I can share my frustration with my friends, but not the other end. I should not share my frustration with my mother. It should not come inwards. And I can just empathize with my sister, and I should dump my feelings with my friends and not my sister too. So this is also something that I learned across, and it felt that, like, for example, I understood my friends also would have the frustration because they were also close to my mother. But we made a conscious decision कि आपको अगर कभी ऐसा लगे, do not dump this on me. Do not tell me कि you are also afraid because of my mother, or you are afraid what would happen with the treatment. Share among yourselves, but मुझ तक मत लाओ. So
This was a tacit agreement, or you guys had a conscious, like a verbal communication
conscious.
around it?
I gave them a screenshot कि ये theory है. मुझे मत, because there must be an instance where they would have told me, or my sister would have told me something, and I would have sent कि you talk to your like husband, like my brother-in-law. Like they got married in January, but then they were in relationship before. So like कि अपने boyfriend को बता, like not to me. Like so we had a conscious decision कि नहीं, this is we will deal with our emotions with the support system. But my mother used to always say कि more kichi habani, which translates to nothing will happen to me until unless you are there. And that's what I used to say her ki I'll do whatever it takes, and until unless we shift to DM's residence, nothing will happen to you.
Oof, yeah. Okay. Hmm. I think so. I think parts of the conversation reveals what I would technically say frameworks, but it's actually these, I would say meaningful constructs of life, which like you and your friends respected, and you and your sister respected, your mother respected, you respected by not sharing it to any one of them. Some of the things that you lived by yourself, probably that one best friend of yours knew about it, which are actually helpful. I feel that uh, UPSC in any way is one exam which tests you to the hilt. मतलब the content तो एक चीज है which is it's not like JEE or NEET, right? It's not like the engineering exam. सिर्फ IQ काम आती है वहाँ पे. यहाँ पे IQ, EQ, external variables, like the whole character of your persona
And
comes to
also,
this grinding test.
also it's at that particular juncture of your life, because NEET and JEE, I feel ki everybody around you is giving NEET or JEE, so everybody has a similar story, everybody has similar struggle. But UPSC mein, it's like everyone else either is doing a job, or either they're having the social life or building something or working on their dreams. Everybody has a different story, so it becomes difficult also to compare. मतलब वो relatability नहीं होती. It's just you in your entire batch who is trying for the UPSC. Other rest of my friends were not. So वो constant comparison was also there. I used to feel कि I was the smartest kid of my school. I used to read this post, what happened to the smartest kid of your school? What happened to the smartest kid of your college? Reddit पे आते थे. And then people used to make stories कि कहाँ पे है वो and all. And I used to
अच्छा
think कि I was the smartest kid of my school and my class. And if I do not end up with UPSC or become an IS, I mean, people start making jokes about me as well. ऐसे किसी Reddit के किसी
हाँ
post पे too.
yeah
So
true.
that was also a constant fear कि I would not no more remain the smartest person in my school. I mean this is something that was always imbibed in me. I always wanted that limelight school में also, and not like limelight ऐसे किसी फालतू चीज से, but to do something and then get the good limelight, like be extremely good at what I'm doing and people praising me as always an attention seeker, but for all good reasons. So मुझे वो डर था कि if what if I'm not the best. That
मतलब
has always
even
been.
if I would it's a thought experiment. If I would say a mother was healthy, if she were healthy, तभी तेरे ये सारे fears and niggling, it's funded like always keep you on the edge. You have to always do to perform.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I did not go for this is very honest feeling. I was a MA student, I had 100 in bio, but I had given both NEET and J, and I had got good scores in medical as well. I'm not sure what college I would have gotten that year, but J, then that was a rational decision to do it as fast as possible and then get a job and do UPSC. But a lot of my friends who were the second or third or fourth or fifth in my school took a drop year and they did medical after the next year. But I was doing engineering, and for longer part of my time, I always felt that being a doctor was better than being an engineer because of my experiences with health and hospitals and everything. And I used to feel that if I do not become an IS, then I'll probably feel that they outperform me in life. Does not matter
In
कि
life.
मैं 12th तक first आता था. It's such a childish thought. It's such a immature thought for somebody who had seen such harsher things in life. But when I say कि accept the thought processes, तो ये भी होते थे कि these are so trivial and so nonsense thoughts which are so immature. But hey, these are the thoughts. I cannot help with it, and I'll just process this. कि वो competition with the people that you're not in touch with, the people who are not your contemporaries at all. Like those are doctors and they're like in their own career space, but I'm still have this competitive mindset with the people I have outperformed in marks only. They might be like wonderful people. They are wonderful people, but I those feelings were there, and I just kept on accepting that, and that kept me on my toes for sure.
And does it make you feel lighter? Because now everything that you feel is out there in the open on the paper. And you can analyze them also from a distance as an audience. And this is what I think. It's not jumbled up in your head. Does it make you feel lighter? Or?
So that I've not given a thought, but as in those are also my friends. So, well, essay thoughts like in general. I think one day I was traveling somewhere and I started reading my notes, what would have journal and in my notebooks as well. And I started crying and to see that what I used to write to stamp and today what I've gotten. And most of the time it used to be like the one paragraph would used to be about my mother and the next paragraph would be my preparation. So it feels lighter for sure, Abhi, but I think I've not gotten the time to think at a macro level yet.
Yeah, I think. Cool. I think the book which Shikhar gave you, the hard things about hard things. Usme, I was telling you there are 2 pages on the struggle. Usme there is a line after he very hard, with heartfelt pointers like he कहता है, struggle is where self doubt becomes self loathing, something like that. Like, he writes all the struggle is when the food loses says, struggle is when this happens and this happens. Struggle is when self-doubt becomes self-loathing or something like that. And I think you should escape that. And I think maybe writing and all these things help to clear that off. वरना ये तो खुद की ही लड़ाई है जो आप लड़ते रहोगे, and the content, and I mean, compared to this content, exams and mocks, they're just pale, because if you're gone here, doesn't make any sense. Which brings me to an interesting question, ki, especially in an exam like this, how much importance does a good mentoring hold? And what should be the key tenets of a good mentor?
A lot, actually. For me, like as I said the other day, there was no marketing sales call I had attended of Civilsdaily ki this is a program that they're providing. I myself went on after researching ki I need to enroll in a mentorship program. Tell me what are the options available, because I was of this opinion that this exam does not require you to attend a 3-hour lecture on any random topic, and then only you will be able to clear it. But I always felt that it's so uncertain that people would have gone through the process, would know the nitty-gritties of it, and then they would be able to guide you. So mentorship for me is like, if you want to do only one thing with the UPSC journey, a mentorship program would be, I would say, the first thing. And I was fortunate enough to have a wonderful mentor who knew his boundaries and always never forced me. So I just said, when I asked you what the good tenets of a good mentor is, also first maintaining that boundary. I mean, he was there, but also he was not there. As in, he was empathetic, but also to not an extent it will push me with his opinions or push me with his strategy. It never felt also academically also never pushed me कि यही resource आप करो और यही material आप follow करो and nothing else. And also non-academically he never made me feel bad about me or feel sorry that I'm not been preparing enough, or giving an opinion ki you should have done this instead of that. So not very interfering. So that's something which is important. And second is again empathy. As I said, ki everyone would have their own struggles, own stories. People would have come after their times, or people would have come across other traumas in their life. So wo empathy becomes difficult, but also you have to understand you're not a psychologist.
Yeah.
So you are not the one who would be able to give the most sane advice to them, but also try to empathize with their issues and problems. And the third is being brutally honest. There's no point in sugarcoating and tell ki acha chal raha hai, it's fine. Be brutal and tell ki you're writing bad answers or your introduction conclusions are not happening, your essays are boring. So I think that brutal honesty.
Ranjit was that brutal with you? Upar ja rahe, niche kya kar?
He was, but as a person, he's also very shy.
Yeah.
So, but he was used to be honest. He used to say ki, I used to say ki, sir, Samachar Manthan, I've got like 125 to 45. I think I deserve 55 to at least aana tha. I enjoyed this. It's like ki nahi, 45 is okay. No, you did not write this properly. Ye kharab tha. If you see this, you have been asked something and you have answered something. So he never used to just solace me for the sake of it. He was honest with till the last test also. He was very honest ki this is something you are not addressing. I was not addressing the second part of a question adequately. So till last he used to tell me ki nahi, ye nahi ho raha. You have to work on it. But also he used to give me confidence ki he was never told me pura directly ki you'll make through the list. But he used to always tell me that I have immense faith on you. And he used to tell this in a very subtle way that used to make me feel that I'm on a right track, but also there's scope for improvement. He made me be in that comfortable space where I never felt disheartened, but also I never felt overconfident.
Yeah, I think for a mentor, a reckless praise or a reckless criticism is also bad. You have to be like praise people, but rightfully maintain that golden mean, because life is not binary. बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत खराब है. That's it.
Correct. And that is because whenever you used to praise, it used to feel very genuine too.
On that note, so now that is behind you. हो गया है. We'll keep pinging you. Keep mentorship में हम जो भी सही कर रहे हैं, we'd want your point of view. So we'd always seek your advice. चाहे we bring in objective system, चाहे we bring in some of these frameworks. Last two questions. One, tell me some of the things which you can share with the general public about some of the frameworks or modes of thinking which your therapist introduced to you, which are not common or obvious for us to do. Okay, but that would be like super helpful. Let's address that first.
The frameworks for that my therapist gave me.
Modes of thinking or self-chatting which are not obvious or available to the public at large, but which anyone can do to, get their spirits high or keep them in the same head. If there are some which can universally be applied.
Yeah, I think a lot of them had talked. The first being your feelings are not your fact. So
Acha.
that's something that I have kept in back of my mind every time that I used to feel bad, feel disheartened, or felt the world has shattered for me. So that's something that I had always kept in mind. And second is that again, it comes a lot of overthinking that we do. We have to understand that that's not the reality. So every time you feel that you'll not be able to clear prelims, you think that you'll not clear the mains, or think if after not clearing mains, after not clearing interview, so on and so everything will happen with you. Society will look down upon you. Your parents will lose trust on you, or whatever similar thoughts you might have. Remember, that's not the reality. It's that it's in your thoughts. You are making up this, and not what you are seeing around you. So you can take a back seat when you're overthinking and tell that, hey, this is not the reality, and I'll deal with it when this comes through. And few other was always to the compartmentalization could be an extreme step, but always remember that everything good or bad happens to you is a part of it, your life, not your entire part of your life. So any exam, any breakup, any friendship being falling out, or anything with the parents is a part of it, and will remain a significant part of it, but should not become your entire part. Is always that she would advise me. And what else frameworks? Also, it's important that you'll have to have that one person in your life whom you can share things, and he or she will accept it without any judgments. So, and do not bottle up things within yourself. If you do not have someone, then just go and talk to yourself in the mirror. And or also it's important that you indulge yourself in things that you unabashedly be happy about yourself. Like there's a dance video that's going viral, and
Yeah.
but for me, my therapist also said ki, having known me, ki every day dance for 15 minutes before going to sleep. And I did that for most part of my life, for the preparation. Random, ghar pe, like room mein, 15 minutes is to dance, like not thinking about anything. So do anything. If you want to cook, then cook. If you want to dance, if you want to journal. But for 15 minutes, do something. Do not tell this to anybody, but do this that makes you just happy and nothing else.
What were the songs you used to dance to?
Anything as like Bollywood dance playlist, kuch bhi aaya.
Did they used to copy the exact moves or were they your own versions of or they should have been choreographed?
I never saw any like choreographed video. Like kuch bhi man se aa raha hai, anything.
How many of these things did you think you would one day come and talk on a video? So, the stuff that you shared on Unreal today.
Never, like never. I mean, this felt so personalized, and I don't know. Like I've been speaking in a, I think, very stoic manner when I'm speaking, but to be honest, the last 2 years were extremely difficult.
Like उस दिन भी मैं तेको बताया था and Shikhar was speaking with me and so was Anadit कि we try to pass on our wisdom to the kids who come to us for the mentorship program and we try to help them open up. It can take one call, two call. I think Ranjit mentioned कि कुछ महीने बाद, I think 6th month, you one day were calling and you cried or maybe not cried, but you opened up about what you feel about the world and all. It took like a long time for you to do that. And हमें लगता है कि, with the philosophy that we are coming, or we've been raised or we've adopted ourselves, we come and share things and we try to look, guide you in a way. बट अभी तुझसे बात करके लग रहा है विद दीज इंटरवेंशन ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स एंड सिस्टर्स एंड ऐसा लग रहा है कि आई जेन्युइनली फील इफ आई वुड हैव हैड the openness to accept a lot of interventions which were coming through my way via different people, and I can see them, I can like, feel them back, remember them. It would have been a much different trajectory because this chat on and off becomes not about UPSC. It's about how do you deal with life. You read something, but how do you really practice those things? So, if that therapist of yours told you that boss, there is this tendency that you have, and just made you objectively look at it, and then told your friend, he tells your sister, sister tells you now, and that was your reality on that day. And then the second day you got the rank. So yes, two very polar opposite things just went at you, and I'm sure you're still processing parts of that. Because abhi to bilkul, it's just a flurry of information and stuff coming at you, right? Dekho, abhi to, I don't think you got a day off where you just sat with yourself on a corner of a room. Nahi na? तो ये forget about UPSC में, okay, so you were a CD student, we're amazing, we did amazing to you, but it just becomes all that just drowns out, and it becomes me learning from you parts of the experiences which you were open at your age. I can't believe what I was at 24, and I don't know what lies ahead of you, and that's why I recommended you the things that I recommend. If you want me to connect with that person, I can. Right? So abhi with this, abhi when the noise will drown out, then you will, and it will take time for it to drown out. You'll take some lot of time. Do you already know what you're going to be like in the coming years? Do you already have an inkling of what kind of a person you are? What are you looking forward to in the services? Contribution wise, do you feel it? And I don't ask this question from many of the people because I see that लोगों को पता भी नहीं है कि करना क्या है. This exam is one of the most prestigious one to crack. It's like obviously it brings with it the fame which nothing else in India can bring to you. Not even startups for that matter. That brings a very personal fame. आप थोड़ा बहुत बातें करते हो तो हजार लोग हैं जो वो कर रहे हैं. This is one of the things. जब तक इंडिया है, UPSC रहेगा, IAS के पास hopes रहेंगी. Do you have the full weight of that thing, the responsibility that is on your shoulder, and also the maturity कि ये कैसे grow होगा? Like, how will it grow?
Honest, I don't think the entirety of it, but the mission was always the same thing. There has always been an anger from the place I come from. It always used to feel that I'm not from Bhubaneswar for most part of my life, and then it became that I'm not from Delhi or Kolkata or Bombay or so. So it's my whole attempt while serving in the system would be to make lives of people better, because I come from a lot of privileges, as in it's not that we had financial difficulties for longest part of our lives. It's just that after my sister started earning and everything, the things got a bit better, and after I joined IOC, everything. But I have this fear and anger. I've seen the disparities in Talcher versus Bhubaneswar, Talcher versus now Delhi, Bhubaneswar versus Delhi. So I think that anger will keep me alive, and I'll try to mitigate the disparities as much as possible. And it simply does not have to what sector or whatever it is, just to make people feel happy about their lives, make them feel more empowered, and makes their day-to-day life better and seamless in whatever capacity I'll have.
Beautiful. Do you have any ideals like people you looked up to who you personally may or may not know, but in real meaningful sense, the way you ground things in those meaningful sense, do you look up to someone for things?
I mean, very cliched answer. I actually was not in touch with any bureaucrat. We read for a lot of examples in ethics and everything, but no, I would not say there's one particular role model, but for me, it has always been my mother. I mean, I've seen her in her capacity, whatever she could do. For longer part of time, she took a lot of free tuitions. So that was what she could give. And in spite of being an arthritis patient, then a cancer patient, she was always there for everyone else, but not for her. Which is something that we used to quarrel and fight about ki your internalized patriarchy जो है आपके अंदर, this is harming you, and you are not understanding that sacrifices do not make you the best mother, sacrifices do not make you the best women. And but for me, it has always been Harsh who has been a role model who would keep everyone else ahead and not her, and was extremely empathetic, extremely understanding, extremely well spoken, and extremely kind. So she had always been the role model.
Extremely difficult to lead also like that, right? I mean, but I speak with you guys and I realize how much of those things are missing in me, or they keep just missing out in me. And I see how easily you guys talk about it. How easily you just word it. Not no clever words, just very honest retelling of your understanding of what life actually was for you. Thanks, Animesh. What won't be the last time we chat, of course. But I was just wondering, अभी वो 3 घंटे बात करने के बाद मैं तुझसे क्या बात करूंगा रॉ एंड रियल में? I was just hoping कि वो उस दिन मैं उस रेस्टोरेंट में चला ही देता कैमरा. है ना अभी I
People had
thought
have
कि
gotten the view of Delhi also.
yeah, the night sky across Parikrama. Yes, but it's
I have recommended the hotel, the restaurant to at least 5 people after we have come. So yeah.
great. I think they should take our names and maybe next time give us a 10% discount coupon for giving them the new patrons. What are some of the eateries you would recommend people to go in Delhi and have, since you enjoy going out a lot? But what are some of the good ones that you've come across?
Sarvana Bhavan any day, breakfasts, Kinetic Cafe anytime, but I don't like the dosas, but their idlis any day. They have this one thali, I don't remember, not a very familiar name, but there's an elaborated thali which I like, and also Kinetic Cafe's ice creams and juices are also very
Hmm.
good. And Potbelly is also one of my favorites, Bihari food, but very similar to Odia food as well. So Potbelly is also something I
Potbelly,
really.
which one? Chanakyapuri or Shahpur Jat? Which one?
I mean, the tastes are similar, but if you're going with a family, then Chanakyapuri. If you're going with a boyfriend, girlfriend, then Shapurjat. And
Okay.
uh, and what else? There's this small momo place which sells wheat momos in Jangpura Extension, which I used to eat from every week.
Naam bata do.
So
We'll make him popular now.
this is one wheat momo. There's one wheat momos in Jangpur Extension Market. In a small cart. That's I think the best momos that I get. And also there's I like the Maharashtra Southern in Delhi Hat. There's a stall of Maharashtra
Acha.
food. So yeah, Delhi Hat also has a lot of good food. Nagaland Kitchen there serves good momos. Maharashtra
No
Southern
chart
is.
places. No chart places of your fancy.
I mean very controversial, but I hate Delhi chaat. Like Delhi chaat
What?
is I anybody who is from Bengal or Odisha would understand ki this is not the chaat we have eaten while growing up. Matlab I'll to share ki the aloo is not crushed अच्छे से. The aloo is not. It's that the pampdi is the base, and then you put a lot of dahi here, right? And I hate that dahi. It's so sweet. For me, for us the chaat has to be a crust masaledar pav bhaji type aloo, and on top of that things. But so
Acha.
that's why I do not like the chaat in Delhi.
You've tried all those namcheen places in Delhi and you didn't like any of them.
I have gone to the Prince Chaat wala in the GK block, M block pe. That's very popular. And other chaat, I have not gone to I've gone to Chandni Chowk, but have not tried the
हाँ,
eateries.
have you gone to हाँ पुरानी दिल्ली घूम के देखो नहीं मजा आया वहाँ पे? Have you gone to पुरानी
I
दिल्ली चाट?
I've gone to Purani Delhi once, and then the proper market once, and then I felt that I cannot go again. It was too intimidating, itna crowd, and I just could not handle wo stress. So I've never dared to go after that. But maybe someday I'll go and explore. I've not explored Purani Delhi. I've gone to Parathe Wali Gali. Did not like the parathas.
Did you
But
eat
I don't.
जंग बहादुर की कचौड़ी there?
No, no,
उसी की
no.
गली के आगे जंग बहादुर. It's very spicy, but it's like one of its kind. One day, no, after the IOC, when is the job ending for you? When are these people, good people of IOC, relieving you? Okay.
I mean, I'm waiting for the FCK dates, but I think I'm expecting August ke around. So I'll be there till June end at least in IOC, and then I'll be relieved probably.
Cool. One of these days when I'm in Delhi, we'll plan an early morning trip to fly in Delhi. Okay.
For sure.
And we took a, I think it was, I don't remember the person, but we took a trip with a historian, very old historian of old Delhi. So not just food, but he also told about the place. If you're interested in history,
There's a page a lot. I've gone to one of these walks where the walk was in Red Fort, but there's a lot of walks that happen in Old Delhi as well.
it was a very old
So
gentleman with white hair, very old. He was a
yeah, I've seen
historian.
him.
You've seen
I've
him?
seen it.
So
Yeah.
naam kya? I'm
I'm
missing his
forgetting
name.
as well, but हमेशा से था कि I want to go on these heritage walks. Just after before the 1 week before this and like the results came out, I went on a Delhi by cycle trip, which was trip in Luton's Delhi on cycle. Unfortunately, I got unconscious in middle of the way. I fell down in CP, and that after
Oh,
that, I'm not daring to go on
because
these
of the heat
walks.
or what? Because it wouldn't be hot that time.
I was not in a good space. That's like 3 weeks after I lost my mother. So I was just trying
Uh,
to divert my mind and cope things. So maybe because of that.
okay, yeah. Okay, so Cafe Lota, you've not been yet.
Yeah,
Great.
that's after you recommended. I have searched and saw like बहुत अच्छा ratings है. But yeah, that's on my list.
Cool. And Juggernaut in GK?
Yeah, Juggernaut is also Juggernaut and GK I have not been to. Juggernaut and Barakhamba Road I have been to. I've taken. I think that was the first restaurant and no second restaurant after Potbelly I and my mother went to. So yeah, very pretty place.
Chalo, cool. So food sorted. Some of the good movies that you enjoyed. Did you get time to catch up with good movies in the prep time?
मतलब I'm not sure कि I used to watch the movies that I had already watched. So because that would give
अच्छा.
me थोड़ा comfort level कि ठीक है. But after बीच में I had seen लापता ladies अभी.
It was
It was
good.
a wonderful movie. Uh,
What are some of the old movies which you would recommend, which are like your comfort movies?
My comfort movie has always been either Chak De India or English Winglish. I would have taken English
Uh,
Winglish on rent on YouTube for I think 10 times. Uh, but I love that movie because it always used to remind me of my mother. And so that's a very beautiful movie.
nice. Super Animesh. I don't want this chat to end, but I know you have an office to attend to.
Yeah.
And I think I've already taken liberty. It's 10:19 already.
I'll have
Do
to
you have
reach
to?
by 10:45, else I'll be marked absent.
Are you serious, man? There's no exception. Even
I
now.
mean, there will be, but I just do not want to take like advantage of this.
Chalo, I think lovely chatting with you. Thanks for coming. We'll keep talking again and again, and I'll discover new point of views that I'll need your take on, and we'll get together. Maybe the raw and real will just continue. But then, like I told you, right? We are making a brand movie of sorts. I shared with you an Instagram clip of a
I
super
saw that.
creative. You saw
Beautiful.
the narration and the way he thinks. उसने मस्त सी बनाया है एकदम. I gave you a lot of inputs ये चाहिए, but he discarded all of them. He said नहीं Rohit, I sat down. He visited the OR and he said he saw you somewhere, but he obviously couldn't approach you, and he wanted to meet with you. And he made the whole 1 minute or so movie, and he has named it. You know what? Saath Koshish. SATH Koshish. I couldn't have chosen a better name for mentorship or for the whole, the journey. It's like Saath Koshish Karte hain, something like that. It's yet to come, but I'm just telling you that. And he said,
Amazing.
because सिर्फ Animesh के मैंने videos देखे, apart from his own research, he spoke with his followers who are UPSC aspirants, but then he watched your videos and he said, I had given him some other tagline, but he said, yeah, Saath Koshish, that's it. That's what would click it for you. So he'd requested one day he would love to meet with you, and if we're able to arrange a meetup in the morning time. मैं बोलूँगा office से पहले if we can catch hold.
Obviously, मतलब if it's in ORN, then I'll be more happy because कोई कल मुझे send me a reel जिसमें कि there's a printouts of the Aditya Srivastav Ranker 1 and mine topper answer copies. I was like कि मैं कितने बार जाके देखा हूँगा ऐसे copies and all, and अभी मेरे copies जैसे बिक रहे हैं, and I'll मतलब not just to get that kick, but I'll also go to ORN once and get through that Bada Bazaar road because वो road to be full of anxiety. I used to see everybody studying. So, abhi I've been to abhi after results, but I've not been able to go on the street and walk. Every time it used to be somebody who's accompanying. I just want to go there and
Yeah, I think just have a hoodie, have a cotton hoodie, and something. Just go like a detective, so that you're not, you know, ousted by people and just, crowd out now. Just go and go through it. It's a nice experience. Cool, awesome. Thanks for coming along. We wanted to come and have this chat much earlier, but yeah, sorry that it was like a huge thing for you. Thanks for finding time, Abhi. Thanks for staying in touch and अपने notes page ना अपने notes की scan copy भेजना when you can on WhatsApp and
yes.
cool. Have a good day. Do good with the AI stuff at IOC, man. These people are banking on you
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
अभी तो क्या कर रहा है एआई पे काम कर रहा है या इनके बच्चों को फंडे दे रहा है या इनको लाइफ की नेक्स्ट लीडरशिप लेसन दे रहा है क्या कर रहा है तो अभी
अभी I'm not doing anything in office. There's somebody or the other coming and meeting me. So अभी से तो I've joined office. There's no work, but then I'll have to get back. एक तो बहुत KT देना है as well. So yeah, but हाँ मतलब it's full force में चल रहा है the entire project AI and everything.
Hey, nice. One day I think we'll sit down with you and just to understand AI, because you've been technically involved in that stuff. Uh, so it would be fun. Chalo, have fun, have a good day at work. We'll catch up soon. Take care.
Thank you, thank you. Bye bye.